We're going to go live. You can't say wait. There, now we're live.
Hey, bonjour.
Hey guys, how is everybody?
Hey, sir.
Yep, Jeff is driving, so he can apparently hear us. Now he can actually hear us because we're actually live. And a few minutes ago we were talking and couldn't hear us, but he was messaging us. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome. We're on episode 26 of Old Grey Bricks. Hey, no, wait, not Old Grey Bricks. Canadian Brick Builders.
Yeah, don't get the shows mixed up.
Well, episode 26, we're halfway through a year. We've done a year of these, or half a year of these.
Really?
Yeah, because I've been doing one a week since March 17th.
Wow.
Cool.
Congratulations, Jeff. You had a show for half a year.
Half a year. Wow, that's longer than... No one. Anyway.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Got Mr. Blue Sky in the chat as well.
Hello, Mr. Blue Sky.
And
Hey, Blue Sky.
Jeff said he was driving, but somehow he's still managing to text. So, Jeff, stop that.
Yeah, no texting and driving.
Yeah,
Please.
it's illegal here in Quebec.
It's illegal here in Ontario, too.
Well, and he's close enough. He could be crossing the border because he is up in Ottawa. So it is legal. It's illegal in Ontario as well. Yeah, as Dave said. Unless he's voice to texting, but who knows? Anyway. So, yeah, welcome everybody who is in chat, which is basically Jeff and Blue Sky, or Mr. Blue Sky right now. But anyway, we're hopefully a few more people will join us. I figured we'd get a few more starting up again just because we're now into the school season officially for everybody. Because my kids went to school yesterday for the first time, same with Dave's. Oh, no, wait, your son went to school for the first time today, right?
Yep. Because
you guys had Tuesday off for some bizarre reason.
We had a PA day yesterday, so...
That's weird.
The teachers
School hasn't started, and we're going to have a PA day.
Yep.
Anyway. So, cool. All right. Why don't we just, we'll just keep it in the three-person view right now, and I'll ask one of the Davids. Wait, how come I point? Codes, what have you been working on this week?
Not much, actually, at all.
Okay, Dave. Since yeah, what have you? No.
It is Star Trek's 55th birthday today, so I'm happy with that.
I saw that.
I am.
I immediately thought of you, Dave.
I'm not wearing my Star Trek shirt. I'm wearing my classic. Classic space shirt. I'm just very slow-mo trying to get the last set built in my next series of space sets I'm going to do a video on. So that's coming along. And I dug out all these parts and pieces that people would recognize from way back in the day.
I saw that video.
And from
do you have all the covers?
Not interesting at all series.
Do you have all the covers for those?
The colors?
The covers. The battery covers.
They're all covered.
Oh, they're are those the ones you have to unscrew to get the battery out?
It's been a while. I think
are they working?
It slides off like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I have a few I think that are actually missing the cover.
And it's been a long time.
And Rick from All Brick Counts says hello. He's got his own stream going on. He's got a teardown stream happening. So Mr. Blue Sky seems to be multitasking maybe. So and then Dave just disappeared. Oh, there he is.
I'm back. I'm just gonna see. I'm just checking something out because it's been a long time since I actually had this thing working. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Wow.
So
technology.
I know some people didn't like insectoids, and they're wrong.
Most boring space.
That's a Robo
ever.
Robo Force is the most boring. Anyway, we're not going to get into it. Yeah,
and that's not the theme of today's chat.
I have one more set to build, so I can do my next series, and then I'll do that maybe tonight, and then there, shut it up now.
It's working. Okay, fine.
It's working. It's fine. And yeah, other than that, I'm just puttering in the leg room sporadically, and I'm waiting for Jeff's show to go on so I can say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. That's it. I'm all cut up.
When you were saying insectoids was the worst theme ever, I was going to say Star Trek is the worst now.
Here we go.
But then no, because it's not Lego theme. It is a Mega Block theme, though. I think.
I am honestly surprised. I guess it's a little too cool adults, but if they can get Star Wars, I don't know. But I guess Star Trek wouldn't have the versatility of sets.
Yeah, because you don't get all those vehicles. You would only get like
ships.
play sets or
Cardassians and Klingons and Ferengis
and Star Trek isn't for kids.
No,
Star Trek
it's
is
not.
for adults.
It's never been for kids until Lord Dex isn't for kids, and
No, definitely not.
I would say and this is my problem. I've been a fan of Star Trek since my earliest memories at like 3 and 4, watching Star Trek next to my brother, laying on the living room floor and watching on our old TV set. I love most iterations of Star Trek. There's not a bad series. I think, and a lot of people disagree with me, but DS9 is the least best Star Trek.
I actually watch DS9.
I've seen every
I
episode.
think it was this summer, or I went through all the episode because I never went through all the episode of DS9. I just back in the days. I just watched the first like 2 season or 3 season, and then I just let it go. But I made the effort of watching the series again, and I have to agree with you that it wasn't all that bad.
It wasn't. I mean,
but they had to introduce a ship to make it.
I get the hype. I understand why people like it. My problem, and this is not going to go off in too many tangents. My problem is that there was a show called Babylon 5 that premiered 2 seasons before DS9 did, and I already loved Babylon 5.
I've never watched it.
And it was better written. I won't say better acted. Like Babylon 5 had its problems, but it was a better show overall. And DS9 to me was a blatant ripoff. It's like, it reminded me, and Roddenberry told the story a long, long time ago when he was pitching Star Trek to all the different networks. And he went to CBS and pitched it to them, and then 6 weeks later, they're doing pre-production on Lost in Space. Like it was, and Lost in Space and Star Trek are very, very not even close to TV shows that could be compared to one another, except they'll take place in space. And Roddenberry never said it was a direct. They ripped off his idea, but it was too much of a coincidence for me. And I was never a huge fan of Lost in Space back when I was a kid. But anyways, I love every iteration of Star Trek, even Lower Deck. I love the animated series back in the 70s. I've read 750 Star Trek books. Like almost every book they've ever put out, I've read. And I've been a Trekkie since I was 3 or 4 years old. And so it's today's Star Trek Day. So I'm a happy guy.
Well, see, that's why I said Star Trek was horrible. No, I do like Star Trek. but
it is more adult than Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure.
Has been.
For sure. And you mentioned Lost in Space, and I just realized I haven't actually watched season 2 or 3 yet.
Oh, Jeff, you're missing out. Like I will say,
that's a great
one reboot that was fantastic. Like
in my defense, I was waiting for my oldest Thomas to watch it with me, and he'd rather play the video games than watch TV. Like that. I've got Marvel What If. Well, both of them I need.
I watched the first episode.
Like so many things.
I was pleasantly surprised. I thought I wasn't going to like it at all. And the first one, I think they let off with the Agent Carter because it's going to pull in people like me who just couldn't care less about the rest of it. But Agent Carter, I loved What If with Agent Carter, and I'm going to watch the rest of them now.
I like the Agent Carter show that happened. I love
the Agent Carter show that happened. That was a really fantastic show.
And Brickham's Den's trying to upgrade his cell phone camera. Okay.
The one deficiency about Lost in Space, the reboot, is that everything happens all the time.
Yeah, they don't get a break.
You don't get a break at all. Not one break ever in the entire history.
It's one bad thing.
One bad thing after another. It's like,
after another.
Give these guys a 5-minute breather.
Get a break.
So, and how about you? And how about you, Mr. St. Sierra? What have you been working on?
Well, like I said last week, I was off on vacation last week, so I got a few alone time. I did mostly sleep. I guess I was tired. I needed some bed rest, but I did manage to get and to build this little guy.
Oh, is that the APU vehicle?
No, that's that's like the. It's
or is that Jurassic
World series.
Yeah, okay.
I actually bought it and built it because I want to turn it into, of course, classic space inspired rover.
It looks like it would be.
Yeah, because it already has a lot of blue. There's a little base. Whoops. Whoops. Coming off here, and there's a little base that comes off on the back here.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, that's cool.
So gonna probably turn this into a space build thing.
Cool.
Somebody actually beat me to the punch because I saw someone
posting an update to this guy.
Yeah,
the all-terrain vehicle.
And somebody actually beat me to the punch because I saw on Facebook Classic Space, the Space Classics page, that someone already had built a digital model of
the Classic Space mock-up of that one.
Yeah. But it was digital, so it is not brick based. So I'm hoping that my real model can make it.
I have faith in you.
First, and to that end, I did make a big order on bricks and pieces. I actually ordered some canopies like this one, but in transclear, so I can turn them into yellow.
Also, that's a different one than the one you gave me, eh, Jeff? That because I think I have a yellow canopy.
Yeah, you don't have that one.
Yeah. There's some yellow, but they're not sold right now, so they only have transclear. Okay. So that's why I ordered transclear. I'm just gonna yellow Sharpie them.
I don't know if that was one of them.
Yes, I'm not a purist.
No, that's okay. That could have been one of our topics this week, but we decided not to go with it.
Well, it's a topic for another time.
Excuse me. So that's just came out, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. My bad.
So I'm going to turn this into a classic space rover.
Hey, David, give me your shipping address. I'm going to put a whole bag of these.
I already made my order, Dave.
I think that guy already sent me, but
yeah, that's fine. I'm just sharing that set because there it is. 69 Canadian.
And it's actually on sale right now at Amazon and on Walmart.ca for $54.90.
Well, there you go. There you go.
That's why I bought it, because it was a great price all around. So I had my eye on it, but at $69, I thought it was a little expensive, especially considering it has only 341 pieces. So
391. You're off by 50.
How much? Where is it?
Walmart.ca and Amazon.
I was gonna say Valley Village, but no.
Set number
and you
is
got these nice dino too.
Yeah, set number 75940. If anybody's looking.
I haven't bought a new set in years, so I might have to go buy one.
Oh, I thought that was a newly released set, but it's been out for a year already. Or
no, it's been. I think it's on its way out actually.
Oh, so it's been around. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
it was a fun build.
So I did that. I did build my. I told you about my all of armor, and that's basically it. Brick wise, that's basically it. Again, because my second son, Jacob, started hockey last week. So
hockey.
I've mostly been in arenas and freezing my ass and not being able to drink coffee because I have to wear my mask all the time. And
I spent my childhood up until I was about 15 or 16 hanging around hockey rinks every single night, almost every single weekend. It was just, and I can't even skate, but all my cousins can. So watching hockey games right up to junior A. So I love that time of year.
Well, I mean, these days
they're pretty intense here in Laval because we have like 4 practices in like 7 days, and we're starting back because you had practice Saturday, you had practice Sunday, then again on yesterday after work. That hated that time. Hated that. I prefer to get up at 9 on a Saturday morning to go to the arena.
Yeah, but you have to book
rush hour after work to get at the arena at 5:30 for practice at 5:30.
Yeah, but you have to. That's rink time. Like I remember going at 6 a.m. and sometimes 11 p.m. because that's all. I mean, some of my cousins played hockey at 2 a.m. because that's the only rink time they can get.
Yeah, but those times are usually like scheduled for adult leagues or.
Yep.
But now, when he started back, when he started back 3 years ago, I think 2 years ago, we had some practice at 7 a.m. in the morning. So, but now it's like the earliest one schedule is 9. So
that's okay.
9 a.m. on a Saturday is not that bad.
That's fine.
5:30 p.m. on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, you're tired from work.
What the heck?
Do you actually?
He has another one on Friday, and then again another one on Saturday morning, and then again on Sunday morning, and then again on Monday night, and then again Friday night. So
what? How old is he?
He's 10. And he's not going to make the National League.
Doesn't matter.
If he ever makes it to the National League, I'm going to be the first one amazed.
Junior A, get a house league, whatever.
He's aiming for like the lowest level right now.
That's fine.
Of his category.
Perfect.
Is he having fun?
He's having fun. That's the whole point.
Exactly.
He's having fun. He wants to do it. Fine, I'll support him 100%.
And it's team building and it's all that stuff. Like I have
it's great life experience. So,
and I didn't even skate, but I have such good memories hanging around the hocky rinks and all my cousins watching and all that stuff and talking to the coaches and whatever. And
wow, this truly is a Canadian stream.
Oh yeah,
just realizing, yeah. So we got a few people in the chat. I'm just going to call it Mr. Blue Sky, Brickham's Den, which Eric Sith is in the chat. He said hello earlier, and I popped it up.
I missed it. Great.
And we know Jeff is in there, Jetstar. And there's 7 people watching, so there's probably a few more, but they might pop in.
Yvonne might
hi in chat. I don't think she's on the road yet. Probably another half an hour or so. But yeah. So as for me, I've been really busy. I don't know where my time has gone.
You've been building a lot there.
She is here.
Hi,
hey sis. So I've been. I got a bricks and pieces order a couple of weeks ago, and I did a little video on that. And I had it all nicely sorted. So I ended up starting to put the pieces in where I needed them to go. So I updated my little hanger here. Just changing the black pieces out for the dark gray.
It looks great, by the way, Jeff.
Yeah, it's good. I want to work on it some more, but I'm also doing the castle, and I finished the roof of the Royal York Hotel or the Union Station, and I've packed those away. So right now, hold on, I'm going to turn my camera for a second so don't get sick. Those boxes right above my finger, that stack of boxes there, with the little white labels on it. That's my Union Station and Royal York Hotel. They've been packed away.
Ready for the next show?
I'm debating whether or not I'll take them with me to Alabama or not. I mean, it's people don't really have to know what it is to appreciate it. I think just for the scale of the building.
Or at the very least, just print the picture and.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And don't point out that you have cut bricks in there.
I don't.
You don't.
Oh yes, I have 4. That's right. I've cut. Yeah.
You don't have any
one by one piles.
You don't have any cut.
Jeff doesn't cut any pieces.
No, I didn't. You're right. I don't. Dave did. That way. I did that. I've been working for the past few nights. I've been taking my existing castle base plates apart, this is where the castle wall was, and this is where buildings were. So I'm taking those apart so I can kind of start with a fresh template. And I'm only about halfway through, and these are my 8x16 brick plates that I already have. I need a bigger box. But I was collecting those for years to do castle type stuff. So I've been working on that. What else? Did a lot of Bricklink orders because I had a bunch of stuff to my Bricklink store for Janie last week. So we've raised a bunch of money for her. Yeah. Because there's a lot of new sets, like we added 10. Well, I said last week we added 10 new sets that are all in the creator expert line, and so I'm getting orders for huge amounts of brick now. So I still fill one up when we come back. Oh, hey, someone else is joining us.
Well,
he got his camera working.
I did. That was a bit of a chore, but it worked.
Yay!
How are we all doing, guys?
No, I can leave.
Good to see you again. Sorry, I've been absent for a little while. So
it's the end of summer. It's allowed.
Yeah, I was also on vacation last week. We did a lot of great day trips. So
awesome. Yeah.
Went behind the falls, Niagara Falls.
That's fun, isn't it?
We've never actually done that one.
Yeah, that was the first time taking the kids to that, and 2 of my 3 daughters were enthused about it. The third one, the eldest, was like, "Can we go now?"
It's water. It's water. It's all it is. There's only water going over rocks.
I swear, if they put like computers at the one platform where you could play Roblox, they'd be happy.
But they never leave.
That tunnel was made in like 1842 or something, like some stupid number. Like that tunnel going behind the falls. Like it's like I can't remember the exact date on it, but it's stupid old.
Yeah,
and yet you're down there. It's like, hey, we're behind the falls now.
Literally behind the falls.
Literally behind the falls. It's sad that they put the gate so far away, though. Like when I was a kid, you could go right up to the other gate that was like right next to the thing, and then you're like 20, 30 feet away from the end.
Well, where we went, like from the actual water, this is the tunnel, not the outside platform. Tunnel, You're only about 15 feet away from. 15.
I thought that was longer. It's been
maybe
10 years since I've been there. So, but
Dave was shorter then. He was younger. He was shorter. So
but I think I remember when they did have the secondary gate, and they even had a full mesh
bar.
Now it's not even. Now it's just a guardrail. So
you can jump in.
If you really wanted to, you could just over to. Yeah.
What height is it at in the falls? Is it near the bottom of the falls, or is it higher up?
Mid.
Yeah.
So if you were to jump out, you'd probably not survive.
Oh, you would not. Yeah, you would.
I can't see you surviving that. No.
Obviously, no one's tried it lately. So
I'm just saying, you get a barrel on the top, like 1 out of 1,000 people survive that one. So I mean, I think the chances are you're pretty much dead.
It's the only way to go is in a barrel.
But they had the guy in the jet ski like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh man, I never felt so bad. Like it was the kind of the hoopla beforehand, and you knew he was going to do it. And then all of a sudden, the rockets didn't kick in. And going, really? Something you should have tested.
And he died.
Yeah,
obviously.
because the jet ski was supposed to go in, and the rockets were supposed to hurl him over the edge so he could like parachute off. And the rockets didn't kick in, and he went right over. But we were there when the guy did the tightrope across the falls.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Was that a dozen years ago? The guy, I can't remember when. That was kind of cool.
Since we're talking about the falls, and my sister just wrote a barrel built out of Lego, there is a display down at the falls, which is absolutely way too overpriced. I'm assuming it's still there. There's a Lego room, a Lego show thingy. And the only custom thing that I ever saw in there when I went 10 years ago was Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
It was a custom built Niagara Falls, and I think it was actually built by a model builder. I don't think it was built by these guys.
Because all he would build is sets, and he would build a pyramid, just a pyramid. Oh, look, it's a pyramid. I'm going, I did that when I was 5 with my big
And I think he had like a concert stage as well. Like there was a rock concert or something.
He didn't have he didn't have a lot of track there. I mean, I would say he had that pile of used motors beside his building there. It must have 30 burnt out motors. And hey, Boot, I'll buy a few of those off you because I could use them for. But that's when 9-volt was like at its peak, and he could just get replacements. But that place burnt down, and he hasn't been there in half a year or half a decade, I think.
Well, where is this? Yeah,
where is Lundy's Lane?
Oh, yeah, was that okay?
I don't know if it's still around. I have no idea.
I don't think it's there.
No.
Yeah, it was a little too busy, so we steered clear of Lundy's Lane and all of the other hoopla. We just sort of went to
please, and you go see the. But I think it's. But Sandy was there a couple of weeks ago with Josh, just walking around, and she says there's a lot of stores closed down there because they didn't make it through the pandemic.
I do see you in the green room, by the way. I just like to say, finally, I can equal the odds.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Jeff.
Just Jeff.
We have non-Canadian Jeff. This is great.
We have 2 Jeffs, 2 Daves. We don't have the other
we
Rick.
need an extra Rick.
Oh, and Emily's there. Hi, Emily.
Emily says hi. She doesn't want to be on camera though.
Hey, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
I'm just seeing if Rick is still streaming, just out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's actually done streaming, so.
Bring him in. This is going to be epic.
So we really should do this. Oh, well, we have to wait for him to come in. Anyways, how's it going, Jeff?
I've had better weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Understandable.
I hear that.
Yeah.
But
is it getting better?
Yeah, let's not even go there.
No,
I'm
yeah.
bringing it up.
It's all good.
But yeah, it's been good. I finished my. I don't want to say I finished it yet because I'm still not happy, but I did some revisions to the mining mech.
Yes.
Here, hold on, we'll full screen here. You get the first full screen of the night.
Oh, full Monty.
Awesome.
So
literally.
Yeah, nice peaks.
So, like, give it kind of a hatch in the back that it didn't have before. It is completely for looks. It is not functioning at all. So, but this way it gives the illusion that, like, you know, it has a back to it. And everything else. It's not like it matters. It's not like these guys are going to be, like, doing this stuff without their, what I'm calling their hazard suits. So,
yeah.
It's whatever.
Looks good. I like the color scheme.
I'm about halfway through your build video on that. I had to stop because, work.
Oh,
yeah,
work.
I fleshed out the jetpack element on the back a lot more, and I'm really happy with it now. So, yep. I am Mr. Blue Sky. Yep. And that was my sister that joined me on that stream, so that was even more enjoyable.
That's awesome. Speaking of sisters, my sister's on this stream.
Yeah, she is.
Chat, yeah. This is American Jeff. And I'm apparently now Canadian Jeff because of this American Jeff.
Yes.
Hello. Damn you. I don't feel bad about that.
No, it's funny.
Okay.
It's funny.
There is only one Jeff in Canada, so it makes sense.
That's right.
Perfect sense.
Did we get rid of all the other ones?
Mm-hmm.
Or they're all Geoffs?
We didn't need it.
Geoffs. Joffreys.
That's my middle name, by the way. So don't.
Yeah, they're the Toys R Us.
What, Joffrey?
Yeah.
Really? Cool.
Yeah.
Your parents must have hated you, Dave. No, it's Johnny.
David Joffrey.
So.
A little bit of British in there.
Joffrey.
From my mom's side, Dutch from my dad's side, Dutch, British from my mom's side.
Nice. Oh, I didn't realize. I thought so. You're not even a. I was gonna say you're not even a purebred.
Hush. I'm a Muggle. That's fine. I only have one wooden shoe, not two. I only need one.
I have a full set. Anyway,
I still have my puppies.
Of course, I'm Canadian born, and my sister's.
Yeah, I was born in Grimsby. You're not gonna get more Canadian than that.
Well, this is true.
Grimsby. Grimsby.
Oh, someone's calling you guys out, by the way, and I forgot that Jeff was actually in our chat.
Oh,
who's calling us?
We forgot about.
There's more than one Canadian Jeff. Oh, geez.
He's the only one we kept. That's it. Yeah.
Sorry, other Canadian Jeff.
Well, that makes four of us because I went by my middle name. There's four of us. Look at that.
There you go.
Huh.
Yeah, but then there's only one Dave.
That's true.
All right. Why don't we jump into the news? Because there is a bit today.
We do news. Yet?
Sorry, what?
Have we caught up with Rick and Jeff yet? Have they?
I think so. Rick, you said you didn't do much.
Lego-wise, I've got ridiculous amount of Lego all over the place right now. I've got MOCs on the go. It's insane. I am working on something. I'll show you. Work in progress. I hope it stays together.
We'll move you around here, and we'll do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here it comes.
I happened to catch Wall-E. One night. Wall-E. And so I decided to build his
that's fantastic.
Shipping container, but not a shipping container. It's actually like a vehicle.
His house.
Yeah, his house, if you will, with Wall-E in it.
Yeah, and all the stuff on the walls. That's beautiful.
The stuff on the shelves.
That's awesome.
Now I'm cutting it off at the. There goes Wall-E. I'm cutting it off at the back because I don't want to go too far with the vehicle. I have to add the tread wheels on the side here to sort of flesh out the rest of the vehicle. But I really wanted to get that interior worked on, so I did that.
I'm just saying, just from the looks of it there, like that brought me right into the movie when they were like he was going up the ramp and you'll see all the stuff inside. That was wonderful.
Yeah, thanks. Yep. Thanks very much.
So, you guys want to have your minds blown? That vehicle is another Wall-E, just bigger, that he's living in.
No,
really? Cool.
Look at the movie.
Wow, I'm gonna have to do that again. It looked like a
cargo container.
It was like it's a vehicle with treads and wheels and like a front. I'm challenging.
Okay, all right. Let's look it up. I'm going to do some American internet research.
Yeah, our Canadian internet's shared between the four of us, so we can't.
and one of them is taking care of their kids. So
yeah.
So but he's streaming. So he's actually taking another dose there.
Oh goodness!
Jed Star's on, and my sister. So we got like 6 people using up the internet.
It's bogging right down. It's bogging right down.
Nobody picked up the phone, right? Right.
Who here remembers those phone lines, the party lines from when they were kids?
Oh my goodness!
Am I dating myself in this one?
No, you're not. Well, maybe, but it's okay. Do you mean the guy that was literally on the television saying, "Call right now"? There's all sorts of really wonderful men and women.
This is the funniest thing because like that. But this is like I was very young, and if you're out in the outskirts of Canada and not like in Toronto or Hamilton, you were on a party line, so you would have one phone line going to 2 or 3 houses, and you'd have to listen for the rings. You had to say, "Oh, that's 2 rings and a pause. That's us."
Yes.
Oh, that's 1 ring and a half. That's us. Yeah, I remember that. That's how far back I go.
Oh, Jeff has something to say.
Unlike most Americans, I could admit when I'm wrong, and apparently I am wrong. I thought for some reason that it was
another Wall-E.
I just remember seeing bigger versions of Wall-E somewhere in that movie, and I don't remember where. Maybe the ship where they're crushing all the trash. I could be wrong.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's not the party line we're talking about, Dave.
No, it's a different party line.
Also, apparently, horse tranquilizers.
That's when you're watching those blue movies on City TV, and you got those party line or CFM. Jeff, you're way too young to remember those baby blue movies.
I do.
I know what party lines are.
Oh my goodness, baby blue. Wait a second now. Wait a second here.
We can't talk about that right now.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll change direction a little bit here. Funny story. Remember when call waiting first became a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was in my teens when that became a thing.
Oh,
and I was at
the dial.
What's that?
You got the ladies in waiting, huh?
Oh yeah. No, that's not where I was going. But no, I was at the age of that. And a buddy of mine and I used to coordinate sneaking out of the house after midnight to go out gallivanting throughout the early morning hours. And in order to coordinate, we would synchronize our time to Channel 5, which was the TV listings.
Yeah.
So it was the same clock time for both of us. And I would get on the phone and just randomly call some number. And then he would call me. And when he called me, it wouldn't ring in the house. So they wouldn't know that we'd, So that's how we did it.
That works.
Yeah. That's on par with, well, I'm staying at, blah, blah, blah's house for the night. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stay with blah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was great. It was fun times.
When we were kids, we did a lot of stuff. It was great. They can't do anymore because you'd be caught and be on YouTube. And
I'd probably be in jail.
Seriously, I'm so glad I grew up when I did.
Yep. By the way, Jeff, the bigger Wall-Es you were talking about, they're in the movies. They're actually in the spaceship. They're picking up the trash in the spaceship and sending it out into space.
So you got it the second time, Jeff.
I was there. I crossed my polarity streams there, and
that's okay. Reverse the polarity. Send the bitch. Send the girl back into the nether zone.
Yeah,
I will say it. Nympho makes it.
Right. They're just like big trucks. Wall-E just live in like a big Wall-E.
It's like it's like a long cargo truck of some sort.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, it holds all these little Wall-Es probably.
Yeah,
it holds. Yes, when they land, it's probably the truck that all the Wall-Es come out of. And, yeah.
Wall-E was one of the
last Disney movie ever or cartoon ever, or is there anything that really compares to Wall-E? Because I really, really enjoyed Wall-E.
Wall-E's amazing.
It's unbelievably fantastic for adult kids. It's perfect.
pretty much everything Pixar puts out is perfect.
Overall,
the Mitchells versus the Machines is not Disney or Pixar. It's Sony Animation. Same dudes that did Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
I think on par with WALL-E, like hands down.
I have to watch that then because I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, neither have I.
It's great. Watch it with your kids. Honestly, they'll get a kick out of it.
Cool.
Hold on a second. What was the title again, Jeff?
The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Okay, is it the one where the father's kind of like a bit of a bumbling? Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we watched it. It's great.
He's a bit of it starts off in their station wagon as they're like going.
Yes,
it's
yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah,
it's good. Emily made me watch it because I'm a curmudgeon and didn't want to watch a quote unquote goddamn cartoon.
Well, we watched Aliens in the Attic, but that wasn't a cartoon. That was kind of a live action with aliens, which was fun.
Monsters versus Aliens.
Monsters versus
Aliens. That's
a good one.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
All right, so Lego.
Yes,
Okay,
Lego.
That's not what I wanted.
Yes, Jeff. Yes,
That's not what I wanted. Anyway,
Jeff wants.
You better screen
the
your
border to open.
Yeah, you got to screen your windows, Jeff. Come on.
No, actually, that is one I wanted up eventually, but that was the last one. I wanted the first one. So, in case anybody hasn't heard, there's a new set announced yesterday, the Fender Stratocaster. For those of you that aren't listening in the car driving, Jeff and my sister, I guess. It's an electric guitar. Anyway, from Fender. Pretty interesting model. It's it actually has Canadian price too.
Black or red?
Yeah, and it comes in black or red, so they get the parts for both. And it's basically
you get the body for both. You don't get the neck and the bridge.
Yes. So basically, I think it's like bag 4 and 5, like one's red, one's black, and bag 7 and 8, I think is the same or something like that. So you just choose as you're building which color you want to go with.
Right.
And you build that part. So, but yeah, it's a very interesting model. I wasn't planning on getting it, but then I watched a review and they were talking about the amp itself and how it's got all the electronics built into it. Like they've actually spent some time and they've put a speaker, like a Lego speaker, obviously not real. But they put some really detail into it. So I thought it was pretty cool. Just a quick shout out.
It doesn't look that big because if you look at that brick separator over there,
it's not.
It's small.
It is very small. Yeah, it's about yay big. I'd
say it's about the size of this box.
Probably. Yeah. That's about right.
Yeah.
So
which is fine because it is going to be a display piece more than anything else, right?
Yeah, and it's small enough probably that it can fit on the shelf nicely, right?
Exactly. With the amp. 139.
If you're a music lover as well as a Lego lover, it's a great.
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna pick this up.
I just thought of another Jeff, but this is Jeff with one T, Jef. He's in Toronto and he's a guitar collector, so I'm pretty sure this one's on his list. Mm-hmm. I just remembered another Jeff. These are the Jeffs I know.
So I actually caught Tricky Brick's stream. This Flynn on Tricky Bricks. He was streaming on Twitch yesterday, building this, and the amp build is really quite cool. Inside, there's a whole circuit board as well as an actual speaker, and they've actually left a hole behind the grill pieces where the sound would come through, even though the speaker doesn't actually do anything. It's just all for the feel and look of an actual amp. It's really cool.
I'm actually surprised none of these pictures show the amp itself, the back.
I know.
It's kind of weird, but yeah, it's an interesting model, and I thought it was worth a check out. Now I'm also going to just jump into new pieces for this set because there's a new half curve, anti-slope or anti-arch, I guess.
1x2x1 curved.
So it matches the 1x4x1 top arch. So you can see it's being used here in the downward arch. Yeah, so it's the sister to the regular arch. So I think that's kind of handy to have in the system. It comes with a material-based band, like the guitar strap. That's as well. And the strings as well. They've never been in this length. I don't think 41 studs, I believe it was. And the interesting thing is, if you order this on Bricks and Pieces, it has one number for all 6 strings. At least that's what I've read up on. Yeah. In the book, in the actual instruction manual, it's one element. That's the element number, and it's all 6 strings technically would come if you ordered that one element. Now it's not available. It's not available yet on Bricks and Pieces, so we can't tell for sure.
Okay.
But that's the way they've packaged it.
Would be like the letters on the 1x1 round.
Yeah, but it just seems a bit odd that you know. What if you wanted? Well, just buy 2.
Yeah, well, buy 2 or buy 6 or whatever.
What if you wanted to buy a 12 string? Buy 2, Rick.
What are you complaining about? They're giving us 6 strings in one order.
It won't be for the price of 1. It won't.
No, it won't be. But I mean, I could see using this maybe in a breach build, something like that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Breach,
just put it in your stack if you don't want the 5 others, or ship them to me.
I'm just playing double advocate. I will say that the strap, that the guitar strap itself, to me feels like it's easily torn, possibly.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Like it, the way it was described yesterday, it's just about as a little bit thicker than the thicker type of minifig capes.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
So it's not tremendously thick, so it feels like, but you're not going to put it under some.
I don't know if I've ever been able to rip a cape.
You're not going to do air guitar on this thing.
Capes. I mean, the capes, they kind of fray a
back. They're going to be like Jimi Hendrix.
There's also a couple of really long hoses as well. About 54 studs. It looks like. No, that's not 54. Those are 8s. 50 long. Yeah, 50 long pneumatic lines.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
But on the other hand, if you go heavy metal on your guitar, there you can always rebuild it.
That's true.
Yeah.
True enough. And this piece that was
change the color while you're at it.
This piece that was previously in clear is now coming in red and black as well. It's a newer piece. And another bracket just in more colors. Large dishes. I think I need that piece.
Tan?
I need
tan
that.
Or white.
This is tan.
The black dish also looks cool. Probably
it does.
For Blacktron builds or.
It's a 10,
it's an 8.
10 by 10. No, it's a 10 by 10.
So 10 by 10. Because they've had black 8s before, so it's an 8.
But I think this is the one I need in my Union Station. I have a couple of black ones in there, and it's very obvious. And I've always wanted to replace that.
Well, I want that 10 radar dish because that's going to come in handy.
So is that the same size as the X Pods?
Yeah, the X Pods was 10.
It
10,
was,
yeah,
right?
But it wouldn't lock in. It's not the same design.
Correct. No, it's an actual dish rather than a
and then a few other parts that are noteworthy, I would say, not necessarily new in this set. But anyway, and for the printed pieces as well. And the stickered pieces. And we'll leave it at that for that. But anyways, I think it's good. I won't say a good parts pack, but a good pack for a good way to get some new parts.
And it's a great. It's priced accordingly too. It's like $139.99.
140,
yeah. Yeah, it's
you guys
a good price for about 1,000 pieces.
I don't know if you guys.
It's a little high. I think it's a little.
What are we hearing?
Okay, you can't hear that.
So? I don't think so.
Anyway,
I hear nothing.
This came out today. I don't think we're going to get a takedown notice for this. That's okay because I turned the volume right down.
We have to do the sergeant's
what he said. I'm playing it again because it wasn't. So tomorrow, in the next few days, I'm assuming there's going to be a new set reveal, Mario based, or Super Mario based.
Kind of looks like it.
Pictures have leaked already. I won't say that I've seen them or not.
Just Google them if you want to.
Yeah,
everybody interested.
It's a question mark cube based on what people are saying. But anyways, it has some stuff inside of it. It looks interesting. Not that I'm going to buy it, but if anybody needs a lot of yellow brick, here's a set to buy, or yellow parts, I should say. So that'll probably be released or announced in the next few days. Probably released in October or September. No, October or November. Who knows? Also announced or rumored. So there's a website, a German website, I think it's called Promo Bricks, or Danish, DE. DE is Jocelyn. Yeah, that's German. And they've been releasing information on some sets, really just the set names. But some of the interesting ones that came out was Viking Longship with sea serpent.
Sea serpent.
So these are creator sets. So I think
didn't they already make a Viking ship with a sea serpent?
Back in the Viking
line.
And this picture doesn't have it, but I can track one down. Yes, they did. So, but they're doing a clear line now.
A great Viking ship as an ideas submission.
Yeah,
I believe last year.
There's also a townhouse noodle shop, which sounds kind of interesting. A submarine, and then a majestic tiger. As some of the bigger sets.
Yeah.
I'm also
Supersonic jet. That sounds.
Yeah, 215 pieces though. So these are going to be the smaller ones.
Oh yeah.
So,
it's a small supersonic jet.
Small, yeah.
It's microsonic.
It's moving so fast, you only get a few parts. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The parts that were left behind.
Catch it where you can.
A couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago, we were talking about the ideas, the puzzle vote.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some winners announced, and as we suspected, the Classic Space logo is going to be a puzzle next year of all minifigs, which is awesome. There's also in an architectural one. There's this building one, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a quilt building style. Deerco Falls. It's kind of a nice puzzle or a nice looking one. This one, the AM/FM radio cassette player, which I think we all talked about liking this one.
Back to the 70s right there.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. The photography on all these ideas was amazing.
Were awesome. Yeah. So yeah, those will probably come out, I believe, next year sometime. It doesn't say, of course, but keep your eye open for those. I know I'll be definitely getting at least one of these. I won't say which one. I'll be getting at least one of these. Actually, I'll probably buy a few of them. I like puzzles. I just haven't had a chance to do any lately. So, but up next there was a trailer released for Star Wars Lego Halloween special.
Okay.
Starting on October 1st. Oh, is it? It might actually be a series. The show will air on Disney Plus starting October 1st. So I must actually.
It's like the Halloween Star Wars special. They're going to do a Lego special Star Wars.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch the trailer, but there is a trailer available on the Brick Fan if anybody wants to check it out.
Wookiees.
It's got Wookiees. There you go.
The Christmas special, the Thanksgiving special is canon. So I mean, I'm just saying that was. I remember watching it back in 1978. That was something else.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. You Wookiees. So there's also a miniature Disney castle that was leaked, revealed by Lego Mexico. So it's a small scale.
When it's released by Lego Mexico, I think it's revealed. It's not.
Yeah, pretty much. We make it a little bigger here. So it's pretty interesting. We're not sure yet any of the details if it's a gift or purchase or an actual set.
I like it. I can afford that one.
I can afford that one. Yeah,
exactly. Yes, that's affordable for sure.
And in the Spanish message doesn't say if it's a gift with purchase or not.
No, it doesn't.
It says
so
expecting soon.
Yeah. He also reads Spanish, everybody. No, it's joking.
There you go.
Yep.
Actually, Spanish and French.
Oh, my wife is actually from Chile, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
We learned something new. Also announced the Santa's sleigh
for $50,
which is $50. Is that what you said?
I think that's what I heard.
What is that in real money?
Well,
yeah. I think that was 50. I think it's 50 USD, Jeff.
Really?
Yeah.
50 real dollars.
But the reindeer are about
not Canadian dollars, real dollars.
$6 a piece, aren't they?
I don't.
Well, that's why I think they've done that. I mean, that's just what I heard on. I think it was Brick Vault that mentioned that.
It's like a reindeer battle pack, I guess. So.
That's what they called it, actually. Yeah. Santa's battle pack.
Yeah. I think this Jeff asked if it has vacuum tubes. I'm assuming he's talking about the amplifier, and there was a bunch of wiring in there. I don't know
probably
if you call it probably what?
Probably not going to go back to vacuum tubes.
No. But hey, Jed Stark, do you remember how much the reindeer were on Bricks and Pieces? You can just comment it when you can, assuming you're not driving down the road. Yeah, I was thinking they're about $10, but
10 or $12 I think they were.
If this is a $50 set,
$10 for $1.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear.
Oh, he went there.
I did. I did. So the next quarter of LEGO Ideas is closed with 34 sets. Now, we're not going to go through all of them today, but maybe we can do it on a different day because there's a bunch of them. But yeah, 34 sets. So it's actually down from last year's or last time's count of 1,002,000 or 50. I forget which it was. Yeah, I think it was 1,000,000 or 2 or 50. I can't remember. But yeah, it's lower at least. So something's working, or less people are actually coming up with.
Anybody want to just blurt out a quick favorite?
Is anybody actually seen any of them? There's a mystery machine that's huge.
Yeah, we already got like the regular mini. I'd like to see the A-Team van made personally.
Oh yeah, down here, A-Team van. And I see a Spaceballs. Here, let's see if I can.
It's another license to acquire by Lego.
Ooh, Jaws.
Yeah.
Knight Rider. What's with all the TV?
I need a bigger
the Knight Rider's nice. Yeah.
Oh my God! It's like
that's what I'm getting then.
I can't tell what it is, but it's the house on the right in the second row.
This one?
Nope.
Renyan.
Oh,
one over.
That one.
This one, Medieval Harbor.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, that does look nice. Yeah, I also like the pine cabin above that.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called, cabin.
The lifeguard stands and looks good too.
I would get the Spaceball camper.
Spaceball camper.
I saw Beyond the Bricks interview of the guy that built the movie set.
Yeah, this one.
It was a little bit of a painful go, but it's a nice set.
Yeah,
because he's
sorry.
I was just gonna say he's French, so his English was a little bit tough, but he got through it.
Yeah, the guy that did Knight Rider and the guy that did the A-Team, I believe, are the same person.
Okay.
The guy that did the huge mystery machine is F111 Bricks on Instagram.
Oh yeah, he's great.
And he builds just bigger versions of stuff in studio, and I'm very impressed with the builds. I'm not impressed that he uses a computer program to do it.
Yeah,
that's basically it. So, but it looks fun. I mean,
and I noticed the GameStop is in here, and we've all heard that story where he put it on 8 Lego Ideas and then threw it on Reddit, and within minutes it hit 10,000 or something, like within a day. So
really,
yeah. So let's hope that one doesn't get made, just because.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
It won't.
It might. GameStop sells Lego products.
This is true.
Oh,
that's true. But I mean, it's getting made for the wrong reason. Like, they put it on because that was when the stock market crap was happening with GameStop too.
Oh yeah,
which I don't even know anything about really. I just remember hearing it. So I think just a bunch of people jumped on that bandwagon really quickly.
So the Mystery Machine is F111 MOCs, or F111, Jeff?
Fly F111 or something like that.
I think it is. Yeah, I think I've been speaking with him a little bit on Instagram, so that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Cool.
Small world.
Wow. You know someone famous, or at least someone's famous MOC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know you guys. That's all I need to know.
I know a 10K member. Yay.
Yeah. Next up we have.
And I know Rick, who knows a 10K member. So
hey.
See, that's 6 degrees of separation right there. You see,
Kevin Bacon just got to show up now. We're all
quick. Do the Kevin Bacon heads. Come on.
That was neat. That way.
I don't know Kevin Bacon dance.
Yes, that is pretty cool. That's a build technique. They keep showing on Instagram.
So Swing Ship is available for orders. I was actually meant to check this, so we're just going to go to lego.com and check it out right now.
Jeff, I thought you just said same ship, shit, different, whatever, and I was like,
he did.
I did. Yeah.
Canadians don't cuss.
Yeah, Canadian Jeff swears on
all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Never do wear him off stream. Oh boy,
never do well.
Contained.
Swears a blue streak. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't see it here on.
Canadians.
I'm embarrassing Canadians. What?
I'd say I'm embarrassed for Canadians.
You're embarrassed.
Never mind. The joke that failed.
Oh yeah, the Tumblr. So, what you're looking for, Jeff?
No, I was actually saying. No,
I actually pre-ordered the minifig version of the Tumblr coming out
Nice.
on October 1st. So
the minifig version looks awesome.
Here it is.
They
the
both
Swain
look
set.
great, but
9698. Oh, it ends today apparently.
Oh, wow.
Can you get it with a
while
pre-order?
supplies
No.
last.
Yeah. Well,
Does it work with pre-orders or just?
you have to purchase over 110 Canadian while supplies last.
That's Monopoly.
So
they said that about
the.
They said that about the sailboat, and then they said the sailboat was going to end on a date, and it went for like 2 to 3 weeks afterwards.
Well, because supplies didn't. The supplies
Obviously,
did last.
yes, but
The
yes,
supplies
obviously,
lasted.
yeah.
It was
Well,
popular.
yeah, well,
It could. You know what I would do if you do a pre-order? Order this and then order a keychain, and then you're guaranteed to get it.
oh yeah, good job. Yeah.
Right? Because then they'll send the keychain or whatever, the poly bag or whatever. That's what Rick Albrecht's count Rick.
Okay.
That's what he said. Because
But I didn't actually slip the tongue, so I didn't need to say sorry.
Sorry.
But I'll say sorry anyhow. So
Wait, who's
sorry.
slipping
American
your tongue?
sorry.
What's going on right now?
you're not a real Canadian if you're not just saying you're sorry at every 2 seconds.
Every third word is.
Hey Jeff, if American Jeff, if this is offending you, then we're sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's not like we're sorry. We're sorry.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry about everything, Jeff. Sorry about that.
You could do it in French too. Je m'excuse.
Continue on. So this was
Canadian.
this idea has hit 10,000, and I've seen this on Instagram for the past few days, and I actually love the look of this.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Just a really interesting scene. And on Instagram, he actually shows how to. Well, it's just he gives you the build technique. It's fairly simple to do.
Foldable.
It's foldable. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought that was a neat little display. So, if that one becomes available, I'd probably purchase it. It's also a good source of tile. So, if you want to do a lot of water, just saying. All right, almost finished. I saw this today too. That Lego Adidas has now got NBA Lego shirts, like with the Lego Adidas collab. And there's a few different ones. So there's rumors now of, hey, are we going to get more NBA Lego characters and stuff? And I'm like, whatever. But for anybody that likes,
first time, where would it work the second time around?
This is true. Well, this time they don't have hands that are kind of like this.
Are they putting actual like players on their shirts, or is this just like generic players?
Okay. Does anybody know the NBA?
No.
Okay,
Jeff,
so
American Jeff does.
Yeah, that's a real player.
Is that a real player? I didn't know
That's a
Mr.
real player.
T. I didn't know. No, I was going to say Mr. T, but no, he doesn't have a mohawk.
Because my cousin today just got drafted by the NBA. He's going to be playing.
Oh yeah, James. Okay, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's happened today.
I'm not a fan of that, to tell you the truth. I'm not a fan of them putting Legoized versions on T-shirts for a shoe company, but it's just that's just me. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there is like, finally, but
right. A shirt I want to buy.
Right? That's cool and all, and I know. So I know that like there's a lot of sneakerheads in the Lego community as well. So like when the Adidas Lego shoe came out,
Oh yeah, just going back to the guitar, I actually thought the strings on the guitar were the laces from the Adidas shoe, but they are actually much thinner strings, so that's good.
They're like the Spider-Man, the strings that they use for the Spider-Man sets, or
regular
like
string.
Just Lego string. Yeah.
I want now that makes me want the guitar even more. So
yeah, because they're actually usable.
Correct.
The last few pages are just a few parts that were added to the database. So new colors. These are basically some of the video sets. So not much interesting there. There was this ad which covered all the Harry Potter parts, or the new parts of the Harry Potter set. So there's a new the glasses piece.
I like the gold deco shell. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
the hot air balloon.
The hot air balloon piece in gold.
Yeah.
The glow in the dark cones, which we've talked about last week. The clear piece with
jellyfish
the bar
type
holder.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of MOCs today.
Woo! There it is.
Bright green, 1x16.
Wow.
Oh man, I have to look it up.
Dave is now going online to order.
You can
all
get
the
it
bright
in
green
5 or
Texas-
6 years at the Value Village.
No, I'm gonna order them. I gotta
Because
make
you're
sure
not
my
buying any new sets, so you can
Yeah,
get it at
so-
Value Village.
I don't think there's
That's
much
fine.
else in bright green though, Dave. So good luck.
That's fine.
And lastly, Imperial Probe Droid is listed at 31% off Canadian on the Canadian Amazon. I'm verifying that right now. So it's 54.86 Canadian. There's also Hagrid's Hut. Hagrid's Hut is 59.86. And a Mario
You have
set.
to be on the lookout because today, for a brief moment, I think it was about an hour, the classic creative box, the medium one, was 57% off on Amazon. So it came down to $15.
Cool.
But it lasted like an hour, and then it went like 20%.
Yeah, I'm still looking for a good link to actually like have open all the time. That's just like all the sales. It's really, I find it really hard to get the sale prices on Amazon for Lego specifically, like to be able to drill down that far. But anyway,
I was actually I actually saw someone post on Facebook the price for the creative box.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
why I was able to get it, but other than that, you have to be lucky.
Yeah. So that brings us to the countdown to Alabama weeks. That brings us to our actual chat topic tonight, which thank you, David Sincere, for the suggestion, which is what inspires you? Where do you get your inspiration from? Is it, is it a piece? Is it something someone's built? Is it something in real life? So we'll talk for the next little bit. We're just hit an hour now, so we'll talk for a little bit about that and see where it takes us. So where do you guys get your inspiration from? Well, we know Dave is in the 1980s.
Space, 1980s.
Betty White and the likes.
I'm just joking. No, Dave's got a great story for his inspiration. His whole base is inspired by
Peter Reed.
By Peter Reed. There you go.
The CN Tower, Cloud City, and Empire Strikes Back, and Classic Space. So 4.
There you go.
So it's this guy right here. So so back when LugNet was the only place to go when you're a Lego guy. This is 5.5 feet tall. So back in the day, Peter Reed would post a lot on LugNet, and he'd say, "Hey, look at my micro, and look at my," and I guess Chris Giddens would do it, and Mark would do it. But Peter Reed put on there, I think it's called Onesis Space. It was a micro scale, probably about this tall, and he had ships off of landing pads that were halfway up the building, and they're on about a 66-degree angle from the base, so they weren't like 180 degrees. And it was very like micro scale is one of those things that are just beautifully detailed if you're good at it, which I'm not. And I'm looking at that, and I even sent him a message along that at the time. I said, somebody should build that thing in minifig scale. And I said, wait a minute, I can probably build that thing in minifig scale. Now, he used dark blay, and I don't have enough dark blay to fill a base plate, but I did have enough blue to build this thing. So this was inspired by Peter Reed, and then, of course, the CN Tower and blah, blah, blah. And the one thing that was critical for me was getting these base plates out far enough to get that feeling, because before the show we were talking with Star Trek earlier, but I do like Star Wars. I saw Star Wars in the theater when I was 10, and then I saw Empire like 3 years later. And the one scene that I came away with is when the Millennium Falcon's going down there and it lands on that landing pad that's far out from the station, and this is Cloud City, right? So it's hanging out there. And when they re-released it, when Lucas put all the CGI into it, and you see there's clouds behind it, and it's on this little narrow platform to get back and forth, and going, that to me is science fiction. Like, you watch Battle Beyond the Stars, you watch all those old movies, even the 40s and 50s with like Flash Gordon and all that stuff, you see all those matte paintings of the beautiful space, whatever, and you always have these far out platforms. Yeah, there it is right there. So I spent a lot of time working on the Technic bricks to get the landing pads because they're pretty heavy, far enough out from the space station to kind of give that Empire Strikes Back feeling with the landing pad that Luke Skywalker landed on. So Empire inspired it. The CN Tower, obviously, it's got some CN Tower vibes to it. Because I remember, again, I was 10 when they built that. And it was like the biggest thing that happened to Canada since Canada started. So it's like, it was 1976 was a big year for the CN Tower when they were building it. It was like all over the news every day. And, they put another 20 feet on and or whatever. Yeah. And then Peter Reed, I think, was the main inspiration, that Oasis space that Jeff just showed, because it was beautiful. And so I worked on it for about a year and a half before BrickFat. And I just kept on trying to get it to be an homage to Peter's space. And back in the day, Lugnet inspired me a lot. Brick Shelf had some inspiration. There was some good classic space there. But back then, I was mostly doing robots competitions with RTL Toronto. And it wasn't until that started winding down and I started getting into classic space in public. I've always had classic space in my house, but I never did. Jeff, remember this? Like the first 7 years of RTL Toronto, the classic space never even made it. Greg Hyland also, sorry, not to bring this up, go off on a tangent. Greg Hyland also inspired me to actually do classic space in public, because we were doing the hobby show in Toronto, and he came along and he brought the 928, the 924, the 918. He had that one brochure that had that center picture on the 4 or 5 base plates and all the 7 sets that were released that year in that picture. And he set up that on the table, everything that was on that picture, the way it was set up in the picture. And I'm going, it never even occurred to me that I could bring classic space to a show until he did it. So it's like, well, thanks, Greg.
Yeah, whoops. I just wanted to, I actually didn't hit the button. I just wanted to show this because that was my last castle, was based off this image, which was a digital image done by a guy by the name of Sunder_59 on Flickr. And I had contacted him and said, hey, I like the look of this. Can I build it in minifig scale? And took a little while for him to respond, but he did. And I ended up building, 3/4 of it, the bottom half of this picture.
You did a good job on that one, Jeff.
Yeah, the problem was because I got the inspiration of the model from him when I actually went to go put the figs in it, because I built it as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
But then I just didn't have a story behind it. Like, not that I have huge stories for my models, but I just didn't have the inspiration to figure out what to do and to set scenes and stuff. So
because, you have to kind of, and I 100% agree with that, because I got my first classic space set when I was like 10 or 11, the 918. And I always wanted a place, since I was 11 years old, I wanted a place for my space minifigs to live, to work, to move around, to explore, blah, blah, blah. And I when I lived on my own, I had a spare bedroom, the second bedroom in my apartment, and I had a whole layout sitting in there. And they had jobs. They were doing stuff. They're exploring, like the Enterprise from Star Trek. And so that base that I built finally has been in my head, not how it looks now, but it's been in my head since I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
And it had to have a story behind it. And we even got in that discussion, Aaron, Theory, and we got that discussion because we're doing our org charts on Visio. We're making org charts with all our space guys.
Oh my!
And people are going, you're making org charts like HR and like all that stuff, Hazmat and all these guys that are doing. Yeah, because this is what happens. Like, this is the whole thing. And
Dave is even giving his minifig names.
Yeah, they go, they all got names.
Larry, Bob, Joe.
Pretty much.
Dave.
William Riker, just Dave. Names like you've never heard before. William Riker, Jean-Luc, Scotty, things that nobody has ever thought of before.
Yeah. Number 2.
Number 2.
Those reindeer are 586 American. And since I said American, we'll see.
American.
Because Jeff, I know the other Jeff, definitely does get inspired by things he sees, and I like with his minifigs and stuff. So how about you, Jeff? What inspires you?
So
cool, thanks.
Ignore it, he's an ass.
Yeah, Peter Reed from back in the day.
Peter Reed, absolutely.
110%. And then later on, some of you guys, and then Chris and Mark and, my friends that are building this crazy space stuff, and science fiction films.
Oh, for sure.
Of course. I mean, it's hard to really narrow it down to like one or two things, but it's a lot. Like
even the obscure science fiction films like Battle Beyond the Stars and not Logan's Run. What was the other one? Silent Running. There you go.
Well, I mean, Blade Runner. The tippy top, followed by Aliens, just because of the aesthetics of both the Marines and the city itself. And God, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to other stuff, you were joking around about naming your minifigures and like giving them jobs and assigned tasks, and like I'm just laughing because I'm like, this is Sensor Operator Jones. He operates the sensor equipment when it comes to space mining. This is Drill Operator Riggs, because he's always got to rig stuff together. Nobody knows his real name. So he's got like a bastardized Frankenstein version of a drill.
As long as it works.
So like everybody has a task. It might be the same task. Like this guy is for excavation when it's like up above a little bit, so they've got to drill that way. And
I thought he was a builder.
Oh God, I was gonna go there.
But, like this is the search and rescue guy on their team. All else fails, he's got a pickaxe in case he needs it. So like building a world like that represents all of that is like
it's world building,
school sci-fi. Like even. Like in the background, like in Star Trek, for example, like there's a guy in a Jeffries tube fixing a thing.
Exactly.
We'll know what that thing is because we're nerds and we want to know. But like, that's what I think about when I build like science fiction or even superheroes or anything like that. Is that like, what's the story here? If I don't have a story that goes with the build, then the build just stops. And like, part of getting to that point is the minifigures that I'm building before the build. I know that a lot of you guys don't do that. You do the build first and then you throw in the figures. But for me, I've got to make sure that the figures all make sense and they all have different faces and they all have different functions. So story-driven material that is science fiction or fiction, and then my fellow builders inspired me. So.
Yeah, but it makes sense, Jeff, because we all watch Lego Masters, and the master builders are always speaking about what's the story here, what's the story behind the build. So I'm guessing, and I think that having a story behind your build, or having your build telling us your story, is kind of important, because like you said, if you're just putting bricks together for something and you don't have a story, you look at it, it's beautiful, but you move on quickly to another thing, because there's no story to be told. There's no story to be discovered by the visitors or someone looking at your MOC.
Exactly. That's I don't build as large as some of you folks do, but like when I saw Rick's APC from the Aliens films that he has some instructions and everything else, right? Yeah. That made me go, I want to build that, but then I want to build my own version. So that's something that's been worked on in the background, but with like, the cyberpunk city taking the mainstay right now as far as what I'm building, everything has kind of had to take a backstage. But like, even from that stuff that Rick did, this happened.
There you go.
I was like, what would a truck fit in that world, right? Like,
awesome.
How would that look? So like, we made it a beefy, take no crap
armored
truck, and it's got the alien hanging off in the front, and
that looks like it could be a Maximum Overdrive, the movie.
It does, like a little bit,
Get Emmylou Estevez driving that thing around. That'd been perfect.
But like, it's got a hatch to, because it's
I love that. Yeah.
And like, the minifigures in my silly science fiction world that I haven't fully finished, they all have, so there's like Space Marines and like everything else, right?
Exactly.
But like the pilots are different because of like two things. It's usually the apparatus that they have and the pants that they have. Because in my science fiction world universe, this is from Exo Squad back in the day. I don't know if any of you guys ever watched that.
Yep.
But they had to hook in to the machine, and the machine and person bonded, and the machine followed the person's move. So like, I don't know what year it is in my science fiction world, but damn it, they have that technology. And only certain people can be pilots or drivers or whatever. So yeah,
like Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Yes, like Pacific Rim. Yeah.
See, I was going to say Avatar, but that's a totally different way of connecting something. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Symbiotic.
They're not hooking their wieners up to sockets, so it's good.
I'll say Avatar with the mechs and all the ships that they had was very inspirational, and some of the stuff I remember right after Avatar came out and being on just as Lugnet was winding down, some people had some really beautiful builds of the choppers and stuff like that. It was just gorgeous.
I always wanted to build one of those.
Yeah,
but
those choppers with the hovercraft choppers are awesome.
Just awesome.
Yeah, for sure. How about you, David St. Cyr? What inspires you?
Well, like you guys, sometimes I'm inspired by science fiction or what I see on TV, but some of my most interesting builds and the MOCs that I do care about the most, they came on as just they came on just by me like trying to sort bricks and just working with two pieces and going, oh, that could be a ship or that could be a rover or that could be and then building on from those that basic assembly of bricks and or pieces and ending up with a spaceship or a rover and those are the builds that are most dear to me because they were just inspired by nothing. I wasn't inspired by seeing a ship and I wanted to reproduce it. I was just inspired by building something and being creative it's very basic for me, and it's very important in my life to be creative. I need that creative outlet somehow. That's why I got into building Legos in the first place as an adult, because I need that creative outlet and just putting bricks together and ending up with something that I like. And I don't care if it's not that technical. I don't care if it's not on par with other ships that are being built by other builders that are probably better than me at the craft. But I like those ships because they came out from deep within my gut or deep within my imagination.
My sister's giving us some ideas. She'd build a Nookshuk, an igloo, a caribou, and a dog sled. From inspiration from visiting my niece, her daughter, but she doesn't have enough Duplo to build it. So, anybody has a Duplo you can send her? No.
Sorry, Yvonne, I got rid of all my Duplo.
Yeah, and I might have a checkerboard with Duplo checker pieces.
I got a rabbit right there full of Duplo. That's it.
There you go.
Like 12 pieces in there.
And I was just gonna say, like, just this piece here inspired me. That was like another thing. So sometimes it's a model, sometimes it's a part. I mean, I've been thinking about building castle towers for a long time, and I wanted to build one with this. And you've seen them before. They're all the way on the other side of the room right now. But yeah, it
was a good build.
400 of these. It hasn't even started yet, Dave. Officially, it's still in prototyping phase. But I mean, just you come up with an idea. It's like, how can I use that piece in a useful way? And it leads you down a trail, right?
Absolutely.
How about you, Rick?
So I could, repeat what everybody has said at this point. Basically, I get my inspiration from multiple places, i.e. other mockers like yourselves, builds that I see on Instagram sometimes. Definitely get inspiration from sorting through pieces or challenging myself to pick up a piece or two, put it together in a really different way. than what you normally would in a set.
Nice part.
Yes, exactly. And then see where it leads you. And I find, just as David St. Cyr said, is that when you go down that path and you get to a point where you've built something just from your own mind, it's just so incredibly gratifying and pleasing, knowing that you didn't have to reference something to do it. At the same time, when I was young, I used to draw, hand sketch, and I would try to sketch dragons and whatnot from some of my fictional novels. And I used to love the challenge of getting as close as to the original drawing as I could without any assistance. So I also like the challenge of replicating something that exists in the world. So and I take from everything. And I'm not going to say, I'll defend a little bit not having a story to a MOC, because I think static builds are just as important as a big story and a big,
for sure,
but I also love, and I want to get to the point of building something that has a large drawn out story. And I want to pull from my dreams. I happen to have some pretty wild dreams. And I no, not those kinds of dreams. Maybe, but that's not what I'll be mocking.
A whole other video.
They'll be all is weird.
PG dream, PG MOCs.
That's right.
Yeah. Or G MOCs. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, pretty much from anything. I mean, walking outside and seeing something and thinking, and I'm now not obviously, but many others, looking at the world and seeing things in Lego bricks. So when I see a car and I think I could build that, I know exactly what kind of curved pieces to use there and grilled pieces to use there. And it's almost obsessive, but it's awesome.
But Rick, you don't have to build large to have a story in your build. You can have a 16 by 16 vignette.
Yep.
That just tells a story.
Well, that micro city that I built for the challenge, perfect example. Yep. There was a little story there that didn't have any figures in it, but the story in my mind was there, and who lived in the buildings, and nothing too elaborate. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't. I just like it to be. I would like it to be something big. I haven't built anything large scale yet, display worthy, if you will. So. I have many small builds that I could pull together and display at the same time, but I would like something big and a story behind it. So we'll get there.
The other day I saw someone on Instagram had built a Lego Miss Minute mosaic from Loki. And I was like, I saw that. It's like, I want to build the actual figure. And I just quickly searched Instagram, and sure enough, someone's already done it. But I mean, it's just one of those, like, you see something even that someone else builds, and it's like, I want to build that, but different.
Yeah.
Or, it's like you get the ideas that way too.
That's kind of what's nice about the community and Lego itself, is that you are inspired by builders and you want to do it slightly different. And I applaud people that reach out and ask, like you both did. Look at that. That's
That was actually inspired by someone else's build, because someone posted on Facebook in one of those classic space group that he got an old MOC from way like 20 years ago out of a box. He went to his mother, saw his Lego box, and took out a spaceship that looked like this, but it wasn't. It was like multicolored and a little more blocky, and I looked at it and I said, hey, I could remake that in a more classic space look. So that's what I ended up with, and I credited the original builder, and he actually showed, and I actually went on with just like two more modern picture that he took, and afterwards, after I showed my MOC, he then sent me a bunch of other pictures that I went, I could have done this way, and it wasn't an exact replica, but as you mentioned, Ray, I was inspired by another builder to build this. So you get inspired by playing with your bricks, but yeah, being inspired by another builder and saying to yourself, yeah, I'm going to build this, but I'm going to change it and I'm going to make it my own. That's really inspiring too.
This just popped up as one of my background images on my computer because I will go, if I see something I like, I'll just screen capture it and throw it onto my background as well. And I was going to show, like, I had a few other ones in here as well. And it's just like, they're awesome backgrounds to have, but they're also just, you know, there's.
If you have a second, Jeff.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to see a build that I did that was just inspired, well, it was by Jeff VW Jeff, inspired by the contest that Chris Giddens was running. On my Flickr, you can see a spaceship that just came straight from my own mind rather than following somebody else's MOC. Not that I follow other people's MOC, but it was inspired only by my own imagination, and I really love it.
What's your Flickr handle?
It's just Rick_Brickham.
I have to wait for it to load because, you know,
Brickham.
We're sharing the internet, yeah.
Rick Brickham.
I should have said people.
Yeah, there I am. So, there you
go. Wait, you were there, weren't you?
Photos, yeah, photo stream, and then if you go to the photo stream, I guess you have to go to my.
Oh, by Rick Brickham, I see.
How do you find me? Oh, there you go. All right,
so photo stream.
Yep. So scroll down a bit, and oh boy, there it is. Okay. Yeah, you can go to the picture with the minifig in it. Yeah. So this was just. I grabbed those two long sloped pieces, put them on top of each other, and said, "This is a wing," and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks great.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Thanks.
I like how I was just noticing the fig. You took the Ice Planet guy and just threw orange arms on him and stuff.
Yep.
And
there's more. And of course, the color scheme was orange.
Clear,
sand green, and dark bluish gray.
Yeah.
And I really, really like that piece that's sitting on top of the cockpit canopy. It's kind of like yes.
Yeah.
It's from a few mech sets, I think, some Ninjago sets.
Ninjagos, yeah. I've been debating ordering that.
Yeah, I also have it on the classic Batmobile.
Okay.
And for people that don't like digital builds, I built that in real life first out of what I... I'm looking at you, Jeff!
You're a son of a bitch!
So where is it then?
It's dismantled. I took it apart. It's gone. But I have pictures of the real build somewhere. I don't think I put those up on Flickr rather because I just wanted all the premium images. And that's the cockpit where Jeff said, "I love that technique you used with the handgun, the revolver, as the joystick, as the control." You know, so yeah. So
I'm also sharing something on my screen that Jeff VW and Rick inspired. So. This is probably one of my favorite things I did this year. It's like completely original in a sense. I didn't base it off of anything. But your guys' greebles make my heart happy. So I basically tried to get as much detail packed in to what should have been a much smaller bike. But like,
awesome. I love it.
You know, like even the handles there
really cool,
are inspired by the revolver controls. Like, just so you know, Rick, like,
awesome.
I couldn't get the revolvers to fit the way I wanted them to, so I was like, well, these T-junctions will do.
Yep, they do.
I don't know how I helped to inspire that, though.
I love that, Jeff. I like the fact that you can see where the hovering function happens with those trans light blue.
Yeah.
Are they? They're shields. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that I wanted to. I can't remember what anime or what show it was from.
Well, The Matrix, they had the dishes as well like that, but.
I saw like the shield like buckling when it hit things because like they were ramming into something too hard, and I was like, what if like you?
Yeah, you're right. What's that from? They were scooting around and they would hit things, and then the shield was kind of buckled, whether they hit the wall or something.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not crazy. Okay.
The second thing that goes is the memory when you get to my age.
Yeah, it was a really cool effect. And like I remember seeing that, and like when I was putting the Cyberhawk together, that Gil named, by the way.
Yeah, Gilwood.
Yeah, he was like, you gotta have. He didn't say you gotta, but he was like, it'd be nice if you showed motion on this. And I was like, how the hell do I show motion? And that's when the blue hoverness. Yeah.
Yes, they are, Jeff. They are salaried.
It looks like I've frozen.
Yes, you have.
Well, at least you're frozen.
I'm smiling.
You are slowly moving.
It's not like a derp.
You look like this.
Jeff chimed in with some inspiration from him. Dave and Peter, because he changed that for space. Yeah. Comic artists like Mike Greenwood and Warlord, Legion of Superheroes, old buildings for town, free instructions on for train stuff, and of course group club displays or group club builds.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that because I actually got inspired a few times doing collaborative builds for shows, because when you're building like for yourself most.
Awesome.
You look happy, Rick.
I sure do. How do I
I don't know. So, anyways, you were saying, Dave, I just screen captured.
Yeah, I was saying that later. I actually got inspired doing collaborative build, because most of the times we all build for ourselves and build for our own pleasure. But when you're doing collaborative builds for shows, you get that extra motivation that you have to perform, because you know that your partner is going to perform too. So, we lost Rick. You know that your partner is going to perform too. So you're pushing yourself to build better and build bigger, and have that build ready for the show, because
for the show,
you know that
you can't let the other
partner is like, he's going to be ready. And I remember when I came to Toronto and I was planning on showcasing with Dave here, and it was one of the shows that I mostly prepared for, because I wanted to be ready to be displayed next to Dave.
You had a better display than I did, but I loved your display.
We'll just leave that up.
I came from Jeff, and I were doing classic space displays since like 2008. Like we were doing it for 4 or 5 years before we had the brick bets together with you and me. Like Jeff and I did 3 or 4 shows a year. And I was just going to tag on to that because Jeff built a rocket for the display.
I did.
And I said, I'm going to build a launch pad for that thing because I need the launch pad. And it took me, I don't know, eight shows before I actually got one put together for him. And the other thing is that, so I have the display. We had the layout. And I said, Jeff, I need a building for right here. And Jeff goes, I got you covered. So he goes home and he builds something and he comes back and then drops it in there. And I was like, works perfectly. And I go, we had, because it was easier for Jeff and I to collaborate than for you and me to collaborate. Yep. But Jeff inspired me. Jeff's build for the space layout was very, very inspirational. I would not have a space if it wasn't for Jeff.
So that rocket though wasn't actually inspired by, I built that rocket for another build challenge that we had.
Yes, tell us.
And I don't have the other piece, but one of our lug members, I forgot his name, Michael Shields. He gave us some Duplo saucers, which are very, very not system friendly, and the teacups. That goes on them. And he said,
right now.
build something with that. So I ended up using the teacups as the rocket boosters underneath, and the saucers were just some dishes that I put on the side. And for the record, if you ever have Duplo pieces, the turntable base fits perfectly on the bottom of this. So it's
wow.
It's a good way to
Rick is back, by the way.
Okay, fine. I walked away.
Hey guys.
Oh, you know what? Why don't we let's just really confuse it.
Oh dear Lord.
You're still.
Hi everybody.
Sorry about that, Rick. I didn't see you come back.
That's okay, Monty. I don't know what's going on with my camera. It's not.
Your camera's having fun, just making you look pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there was also the Duplo egg.
Well, you're slowly moving.
Yeah, that's old. That's old feed, right? The camera's off for me right now, so that's like old feed still coming through. How weird.
Well, we are sharing the internet again. Remember, we are sharing the internet, so this is like.
Yeah.
So it got caught in a, probably a party line somewhere, and like taking us time to get around, rerouting.
I don't think that's how that works anymore. I could be wrong, but Canada.
Dave's in IT. He should know.
Yeah.
Party line.
Party line.
That being said, chat's been really quiet too, so I don't know if there's internet-related issues as well. So if anybody's on chat, just say hi so we know that you can still hear us and stuff.
He's a ventriloquist, yes.
Yeah, there hasn't been there it is.
Okay. He's a ventriloquist. All right. See, I didn't see that until after you said it, Rick.
So, wow.
I will also say I derive a little bit of inspiration from the actual idea books that Lego put out back in the day. Of course, I'm old school. Book 6000 and the other two that they came out before and after that one. Actually, I found pretty inspiring for all themes back then. And the one brick vet I miss is the one brick vet where they did everything in the book, which I'm still pissed about because I missed that one. The 6000 idea book. Jeff and everybody built every single mock that was in that book.
JD and I, and it was just the town mocks. We didn't build everything.
Oh, you didn't do the space mock? I think you guys.
No, we only did the town.
All the town. We have to do the space mocks.
That's right.
Hey, David St. Cyr, hold your right arm up for a minute, so it's off the screen. St. Cyr, higher, higher.
Oh, so like you're holding it.
There.
Oh, wait, hi everybody. I'm Rick.
There you go.
I've got a hand up my beep.
I'm just saying, Mr. Dress Up. This is great.
Anyway.
Hey-o. David.
I
now know how you're such a good mocker.
Proctologist.
He's got a good thing. He's got very inept fingers. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. He's pushing all the right buttons.
You will go slowly.
Really tugging on my heartstrings right now.
Jeff, we're just having fun.
Jeff is just waving that one off. Jeff is just like shake his head. He says, "I'm not touching this one at all." He's a wise man, that American. He's a wise man.
Trying to be more family friendly. So
my sister started that, for the record.
Jeff's not coming back, by the way. Just give you a heads up. Jeff's not coming back to the stream at all.
I'm just saying.
Jeff's being very good. Thank you, Jeff.
No fucking problem.
Yeah, Jeff is on his best behavior right now. It's not like on whole grave bricks.
Oh, there you go.
We've lost complete control of the show.
Yeah, I'm literally petrified with fear.
You are. Oh, he's starting to smile.
He's laughing now.
I think he's about to sneeze. Oh, Rick. Oh, Rick.
Why is this happening?
Anyway,
what's the next topic, Jeff?
Well, that's the end.
I think it was yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're at an hour 37, so we'll call it for the night.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for participating, and thank you, Rick, for the laughs of the Snotus.
This is great.
He's on sloth time, by the way.
Sloth time.
And thank you, Jeff. Real Jeff.
Yes, thank you, American Jeff.
Thanks.
Who had a name change and probably noticed it, but maybe not.
Jeff 1.0.
I was saying I was from Medicine Hat, so people.
I saw that one too. That was awesome, by the way. That was great.
Then I changed it to A.
My very first girlfriend was from Medicine Hat. And
I don't know one single person from Medicine Hat. You dated.
It was a punk rock chat room where we met, and then she flew out to see me. And that's how I went to Canada once.
Medicine Hat.
Have a good night, sis.
Yvonne.
So, anyways, we'll call the show. I'll start to end the broadcast. So thanks everybody for coming out.
Okay, Rick,
everybody,
start waving right now.
Oh yeah, Rick,
I know,
you started waving.
My camera isn't even on. That's that's still old feed. It's incredible.
Oh jeez, that is cool.
I don't even know how it works. Hey, live long and prosper.
Talk to you guys later.